Hi, ho everyone. Mara Evenstar here, and I'm here to talk a little bit about the what's happening with the store closing and get everybody kind of up to speed and up to date so you know what to expect for those of you who care and want to know. Um, so surprisingly, some people actually don't know or did not get word that we are closing our storefront in downtown Ypsilanti. And we announced that a couple of months ago, and we've been moving through the process of getting ready to close that. So I wanted to start today really briefly with letting people know what's going away and what's not going away because we're not like totally, totally going away. So what is happening is we are closing the storefront, the retail storefront that's at 36 North Ypsilanti, our beautiful little downtown storefront. And it is bittersweet, but things are just so in this world right now that we're really needing to right size this and to make this sustainable for our lives. And so we made the decision to close the storefront. And we also closed our gathering space that was over on the Packard Road area. Many of you have gone to classes and gatherings and things like that there. And we closed that down in May. So that's what's happening is we've been closing our spaces that have been kind of the anchors for where we've been. But what's not closing? So on the retail side, we are going to be continuing with our online store. We'll be beefing that up a little bit more and doing a little bit more with it. We'll be turning our attention to that once we get the storefront closed. But Even Stars Chalice will continue online. And we're also working to try to find a way that we can have drop off. So for the local folks, you don't have to pay for shipping, and we'll create a way where you can just order your products and then go pick them up. So that's in the works. And also in terms of retail, we plan on still doing some of the events that we've been doing. So we'll do some of the things like Convocation and Michigan Pagan Gathering and other things so that we can continue to see you and we'll be out in the community in that way and maybe even doing pop-ups in other places. So that's what we're going to be doing with with the retail side of things. Now with the events, we're going to continue doing some events and classes and things like that. For right now, we're renting spaces that are appropriate size for those events. And so we're going to continue with that. Also, online stuff will absolutely continue. And I'm continuing with my private practice. I've recently opened up a an office, and I'm really excited about it. And been already seeing clients. So you can see more of that stuff if you go to our website and go to work with Mara. You can see what those offerings are, or you can go to my personal website, which is maraevenstar.net. And then it's going to point you right back to Evenstars Chalice for those for those offerings. But so all of that is in process. Everything's unfolding in that way. So I did want to tell you a little bit about the timeline of how things are going to go in the storefront. And so just let me get my notes here because I don't want to be telling you anything. Okay, tells me I can't minimize while I'm recording. Okay. All right. So here's what's happening. So right now, what we're in the process of doing is we are working with all of our consigners to be wrapping up their consignment, coming and getting their pieces. And so that's happening right now. And will over like the next week or so. Some consignment items might be in there, but what we wanted to do was let the artists get their things before we started running like big clearance sales, like store-wide clearance sales. So that's what we're in the process of doing right now. On Sunday, July 21st, we're actually having Goddess Temple in the space, and you're welcome to come. It starts at 11, but I'm mentioning that right now because we're going to be opening the store late that day. We usually open the store at noon on Sundays, and on that Sunday, we're going to be opening it probably about 1 o'clock and maybe just a tiny bit after that. And then July 22nd, we begin with our store-wide sales. It's going to be 15% off everything in the store starting on July 22nd. When we hit the 27th and the weekend of July 27th and 28th, one thing you might want to know is that's going to be the last weekend for our readers. So that's the last point in which we're going to have readers there. They're available for walk-in services. And if you want to see who's there between now and then, just go to our calendar page and you can see who's going to be doing the shifts then. And then on July 27th starts the 25% off store wide. So we're going to start just kind of ramping up the sales as we go. So July 27th starts the 25% off. Then when we hit August, that's when we're really kind of getting toward the end. So August 2nd is going to be the actual last weekday of our regular store hours. I believe that's a Friday. And so that'll be like the last of that. And we will also, by that point, have removed everything from the store that we're actually going to be transferring to the online store. So as you can see, we're really starting the push now to things being able to just like clean up and clear out. So then starting August 3rd, that weekend, begins the 35% off store-wide sale. And that's probably as low as we go, just to let you know. So if you're waiting for the big, 75% off, everything must go, that's just really not going to happen. That's just not feasible for us. So 35% off store-wide starting August 3rd. At that point, too, and we've been sprinkling them in, but at that point, any fixtures that are for sale will be identified and tagged. Um, and then we're only going to be open for that weekend. Then, of course, the weekdays we will be closed. We're going to reopen if needed, if there's enough stuff there or more of that furniture and fixtures that we need to get a hold of or get rid of on August 10th and 11th. We will be open that weekend. But you could probably realistically think that maybe that weekend of August 3rd and 4th will be our last open weekend. So that's where we are with that. And if you have any questions, of course, you can always call us or email or anything like that. We will be, though, still having some events there. As I had mentioned, we're having Goddess Temple there. I'm teaching a Reiki Level 2 class in the space throughout August. And then we do have the space through the end of September. And so we will probably also be doing a closing ritual. You might want to put on your calendar Friday the 13th. If we don't know what that is quite yet. We're not there yet, but we're holding the space to do a closing ritual for the space and a blessing and a gratitude there and then. So I hope you are well. I also wanted to let you know that although it's bittersweet and some things are hard about it, Russ and I are actually feeling really good about this decision. We're really right-sizing things for us. We're thinking of it as an evolution, not an ending. And so we hope to continue to see and be with you in community. And I hope to, of course, see you before the store actually closes. One other note that I don't want to forget to tell you is that your reward points, if you have points where you can get discounts, you need to use those before we actually close. Those will not be and cannot be, just because they're two different systems, those will not be transferring over to the online store. So if you want to be using your customer appreciation points, yeah, you need to come on in and get in there, and better to actually get in sooner rather than later while we still have good stock there. Um, so yeah, blessings to you and be well, my friends. All right. Bye-bye.